So here I have the Infinix Hot 50 Pro Plus, and they're advertising it as the slimmest 3D curved display smartphone on the market. I'm not gonna lie, this phone is super slim, and it comes in at only 6.8mm thick, which is pretty cool. This phone is quickly becoming really popular for its design, feature set, and durability at a very decent price. Now let's take a closer look and see what all the hype is about. First, let's see what you get in the box. Infinix actually offers a lot for what you pay. You get a screen protector, a clear hard plastic case, a 33-watt wall charger, a USB-A to USB-C cable, USB-C earphones, a SIM ejector pin, and of course, the phone itself. The phone is pretty sleek looking too. I got the titanium grey color, which is quite nice. The display is protected by Gorilla Glass, although they don't specify which version. It's got a plastic back, and so far fingerprints don't show up and it stays pretty clean, which is nice. It is a slippery phone though, so be careful. Although Infinix is very confident with the phone's durability, so stick around to the end of the video to find out how it holds up. This is the first time Infinix has used an AMOLED panel for its Hot series, and it looks pretty damn good. The display is a huge 6.78-inch 1080p Full HD Plus screen, and it has a 120Hz refresh rate, which again is great at this price point. The phone has 550 nits of brightness in normal conditions, which is fine, and it can boost up to 1300 nits so you can see everything perfectly fine even in the bright sunlight. Now the curved screen looks great and gives it a nice premium feel, but I've noticed at times, especially on YouTube, when I grip my phone, the fingers on the screen edge can select another video, which can be a little bit annoying. Powering the phone, you have the new Helio G100 chip, which is a decent mid-range chip and uses a 6nm architecture. You also get 8GB of RAM that you can expand to 16GB with a feature called Meme Fusion, which converts some of your storage into RAM. You also get 128GB or 256GB of internal storage, which is expandable to up to 1TB with microSD support, and it also has dual SIM support with 4.5G speeds. Performance on this phone is perfectly fine for light to medium use. It easily handles all your day-to-day tasks and social media apps without any issues. It performs surprisingly well in gaming too. I didn't have any issues playing Asphalt at high settings, and PUBG was also very playable at HD resolution and high graphic settings. The graphite cooling system also works really well. The phone doesn't get abnormally hot even during longer gaming sessions. Honestly, I'm perfectly happy with the performance of the phone for the price, and it's also got a 60-month fluency rating, but only time will tell how that holds up. You get dual speakers tuned by JBL on the phone. They're pretty loud, although they sound a little bit muddy at max volume. Battery life has been pretty good. It has a 5000 mAh battery, and I'm getting about 5.5 hours of screen on time, which is quite decent. The 33-watt wall charger can get you to 50% in 26 minutes and a full charge in just over an hour. You also get an option for bypass charging, so when you're plugged into the original charger while gaming or watching a video, the charger will bypass the battery and send the power directly to the phone to prevent overheating, so you can get better performance on those intense gaming sessions. You also get a standby clock feature similar to iPhones. When you're charging your phone and have it placed in the landscape orientation, it can display a clock with other little bits of information. Moving on to the software, we have Infinix's XOS based on Android 14. Initially, when you get the phone, it's packed to the brim full of bloatware, but just take a few minutes to uninstall the apps and you're left with a very nice and clean feature-packed OS. I generally think the interface looks nice and clean, and I particularly like the large folder size options on the home screen. You get a swipe from the side shortcut to get to your favorite apps or tools. You also get a cool Smart Hub feature that lets you drag a bunch of photos and documents into a little window so you can easily drag and drop them into other apps. It's pretty convenient. The screen gestures are also great, especially the 3-finger swipe down for taking a screenshot. It's also got an iPhone-like dynamic bar which can show you information such as timers, music playback, phone calls, and more. Now for the AI features. You get an AI eraser function in the Gallery app, which works fairly well. You also get an AI cutout where you can pluck the subject from your picture and use it as stickers or whatever else you want to. And you also get an AI wallpaper generator, which is a bit of a hit and miss. You get an image generator in the Notes app, so you can have a bit of fun with that if you want to. It also has its own smart assistant called Folax, but I much prefer using Google Gemini as my default assistant, and the Gemini Live feature is absolutely amazing. The phone has an optical fingerprint sensor, which is fine. It's fast enough, and I'd say it works about 90% of the time. I also enabled Face Unlock, which is quite convenient too. Now let's get to the camera. It has a 50-megapixel main shooter and a 2-megapixel portrait depth sensor. I have no clue what the third lens is, but if you know, then let me know in the comments below. The camera is okay in good lighting and produces some decent shots with good detail and color. The shutter speed isn't the fastest, but I found that disabling HDR and AI focus helps speed things up a little bit. It also has a super night mode for low light photos, and it works fine. It can also take portrait photos, and the cutouts are good, but the photos look a little bit soft and lack a bit of detail. Overall, the quality is decent for the price. Video tops out at 2K 30 frames per second, but it doesn't seem to have optical image stabilization, so hold it steady. The video quality is okay. It's good enough to capture your moments, and it can also shoot 1080p at 60 frames per second. Again, with no stability. But if you shoot at 1080p 30 frames per second, you get digital stabilization. Overall, the quality is okay. It also has slow motion video. The quality isn't great, but it's a fun feature to have. The phone has a 13 megapixel selfie camera, which is actually quite good. Pictures had nice color and details, and if the lighting is good, you can get some really nice snaps. Now, let's get on to durability. This obviously pained me a lot, but it has to be done for science. Starting off with the easy stuff, it has an IP54 dust and water resistance rating, so it's fine for a few splashes in dusty environments. Just don't take it for a swim. I dropped this phone a lot of times, and man, this thing is tough. I dropped it, then I dropped it again, and again, and again, and again, and again. It's safe to say this phone will survive a drop out of your pocket. I didn't get a single crack or scratch in the screen, which is wild. The only small damage I saw was a small dent on the top corner. The phone will be upgradable to Android 15 and it will get an extra 2 years of security updates. This is a little bit underwhelming as they should provide at least 2 years of Android updates, but we shall see if that changes along the way. The phone costs 26,000 shillings here in Kenya, which is pretty fair for what you get. If you're looking for a reliable, sleek phone that has a beautiful screen, good battery life, that's super durable on a budget, then you should definitely consider the Infinix Hot 50 Pro Plus. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.